Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, where we're going to be jumping in for a daily race today, and welcome to Colorado Springs. Yes, we are in the R5 Turbo. We're going to be doing a little bit of rallying for you today. So we're going to check stick traction control on 1 for the launch. Not really sure if it's going to make too much of a difference. This was my first race of the day. We did a little bit of practice, did a little bit of qualifying, but we're going to jump straight in without any race practice. So I know why you're all here today. You want to know, what is rally like in GT7? Well, unfortunately I can only give you my honest opinions. You're going to have to let me know your opinions down in the comment section below, as we give Epic a little bit of a helping hand here. But we're going to find out during this video what my honest opinions are of rallying on Gran Turismo 7. And spoiler alert, it is not great. So as we're talking about rallying right now, let's go ahead and have a little mention to the physics of Gran Turismo 7. Now the physics in Gran Turismo 7 are not the greatest at the best of times. They are very pinbally, and because there's no damage to like the small contacts, and these jumps in particular are just horrendous. It's very pinbally, very bouncy, and as you can see they're jumping all over the road. Just no weight to the actual cars themselves. So that is going to be my first problem with rallying on Gran Turismo 7. It's the physics. Second thing I would like to point out is the fact that when you're having a daily race, although it is not ranked and you don't have a DL or SR penalty, or in fact you don't have any penalty of any type, there is no contact penalties for walls or for each other. So if you spin out a car, that is part of the game, which doesn't lend itself to the cleanest of racing. So unfortunately I do only tend to do rallying when I need to. For example, right now doing content for you guys, or if it is in a manufacturers or nations cup race, then I will be doing the rallying. However, I won't be doing it on a wheel, I will be doing it on a controller, because it is just impossible to control the car on a wheel, at least in my personal opinion. As we get a good jump here for a good run on the Spaniard in the blue Renault. But yeah, just look how ridiculous these cars look going over these jumps. It really is a shame to see Gran Turismo in this perspective. We're going through the final sector here in P6. Got a couple laps to try and rectify that. We see the Greek driver up ahead in P4. Very dirty driver. I will say this, I had a couple races with him on this session, and basically he doesn't like to brake, he just uses the car. As you see, we're going for a wheelie for some strange unknown reason. Thank you GT7 physics. This is also a really difficult corner, as you have a bump here coming down the hill. See a lot of cars going into that barrier on the outside there. Get it slowed nice and early for this one, keep it nice and tight. You see there's contact up ahead, we actually start to drift wide. Gonna get a good run on the Greek driver here. I'm gonna have to back out, just waiting for him to make a mistake. I will say the rallying is not as bad in the slower cars. So for example the Renault, because it is a slower car, you don't have so much speed, so these corners are not as treacherous. As you see there, the brick getting it all kinds of wrong going through that tight or through that difficult corner. Gonna move now to the final sector of the final lap. We're gonna get it all kinds of wrong coming through here. The Brit's gonna be on the outside. Gonna give him space, make the jump, go a little bit sideways, or not sideways, but we tilt a little bit diagonally. That's not going to help our motion sickness, but we're going to go through into P4 again. Make sure we get it stopped for this last corner, the last difficult corner. He's going to squeeze alongside again, just cutting us off there as he didn't want to crash into the wall. Understandable, but we are going to have to settle for P5. So we gained 1 position on this race. There's a lot of changing of positions though as the course of the rally goes on. So we're going to move now to the second race. Now this one was a lot better. We had a few very fast drivers in here. We've got Luna Viking starting in pole position, incredibly quick driver. No chance of staying within their pace. We also have a couple of A+ rated drivers and a couple A rated drivers, and a few B rated drivers down lower in the back. So we did a little bit more qualifying, we did a little bit more practice. We did actually set a quicker qualifying time. However, we are starting down in the mid pack for this one, which just goes to show the strength of this lobby. A lot more faster drivers in here. We do have Epic back in for another race as he gets shoved out onto the bumps for this one. Coming through here, we're going to give space to the Brit alongside, try and take the jump in a reasonable manner, which we do. Make sure you get it nice and straight for the takeoff on that one. Moving up to 6th position over these little annoying jumps that nobody really likes. Someone going into the wall up ahead, we go into the wall on the outside. That's going to lose us yet another position. Coming through the last section of lap 1. Going side by side up ahead. And you can see how much time we've lost during this first lap. So it was a grid start, and Luna up in front already has a 7 second gap. So we've got quite a lot of work to do. We're not hoping to get too far up this field, of course. We're just having a little bit of fun trying to adjust with these pinball physics. Jetty here coming alongside. However, they're going to get it all kinds of wrong going into the braking zone. That's going to give us the run of the inside once more. We have a Brit who's come to join the battle, but he gets bumped wide by the Swiss driver. And we are trying to make a bit of a gap between those behind, so that we can focus on catching the Turk up ahead. I think P4 is the highest possibility for us, which is just going to be made a little bit easier as the Brit hits the wall there on the outside. That's going to move us up another position into P5. The Frenchman's also had a bit of an incident coming through that corner. He's going to be very slow coming into this last sector here. Coming across the start finish line for the 3rd time. Trying to make a move on this Turkish driver, but he seems to be planted all the way through these corners. We get another wheelie. I'm not really sure that is how cars are supposed to behave. Maybe you can let me know, maybe they do wheelies of small jumps like that, or small ramps. We try and make a move on the outside, but we just get a little bit of a tap from the Turkish driver. I'm not sure if that was intentional, probably just got a little bit of a bump on the inside. So we're going to let that one fly this time. We should be able to catch up fairly soon anyway. Trying to get a good launch off the ramp here. We get a little bit bouncy on the landing, that's going to lose us a bit of time. But again, with these landings, you just need to be lucky. I found that that's really, there is no skill involved in landing these jumps. You just have to get lucky, land on your wheels, and you should be fine. So we're going to make a move around the outside of the Turkish driver. That's going to put us up into P4. And that is pretty much how it stays until the last lap, where we're going to fast forward now, coming down this very difficult corner once again. We hit the bump, get it all kinds of wrong, and we're going to be into the wall, and that is going to lose us 3 positions. So we went from 4th all the way down to 7th once again. So it went from being a pretty good result to being a pretty terrible result. And that is actually how it stayed, and we're going to come home to finish in P7. But yeah, that is my honest opinions on the rally in Gran Turismo 7. Do let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you are enjoying the content, and subscribe so that you never miss a video. But I will see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.